Hello, it is so lovely to be here and just surrounded by like all your beautiful artwork. But I'm going to start by taking us back to the very, very start.
Cool.
Can you remember the first drawing you ever did?
That's a stretch. I'm not sure about the first drawing I ever did, but obviously, like everyone says, it started from a young age at school, doodling in my books, always taking art for since I was a kid, and then doing GCSE art, then A level art, then kind of thinking, oh, I could make something out of this, and decided to study art like, after school. So yeah, it just keeps going on and on and
Was
on.
there a particular style to your doodles?
There's a long story and a short story. The short story is kind of like these doodles and cartoons that I was doing at school and in my books and in art lessons and stuff. They were often cartoons, kind of like stories that I make up playing out and different characters. And they had these googly eyes was the kind of feature that they all had. I didn't think anything of it at the time, and then as my art kind of progressed, I was doing kind of a painting project at A-level art, and I was asked to kind of do a piece about me and myself, and then I ended up looking at old drawings, and then it was then that I noticed this eye that was kind of prevalent amongst all these cartoon characters, and so it's something that I just kind of developed into more and more different kind of styles itself, and then now we're at the point where it's like the complete trademark, like the face kind of thing. So that's the short story of it. So yeah, that was all cartoons, characters, storylines, comics, like everything like that, just anything to draw basically. Yeah.
Were the doodles like in your art book only?
Much to the disappointment of some of my teachers, but yeah, everywhere. Maths books, front cover, the inside cover, get a new book, then do it on the inside, and yeah, everywhere. But art especially, my old teachers would tell you I was always in there lunch times, before school. If I got in there early, probably went up there after school, definitely. I wouldn't say I ever took it seriously because I loved it, but I was just always in there, drawing, painting, printmaking, making stuff, always, yeah.
It's kind of like you were taking it seriously without even
Yeah,
realizing
that's it.
that's what you were doing.
That's it. The school I went to is traditionally not massively creative,
Mm.
but they were always. I think it was more the staff that I had. There was a really great art teacher. I remember when I was in like a junior school, and then another great guy when I was in the upper school as well. So I think I would credit it mostly to those two guys. But outside of those two guys and the other art staff, it wasn't overall a massively kind of creative school, so they didn't necessarily push that kind of thing, but they were always good at, if there was someone that excelled in that kind of area, they would kind of let you off maybe sport a little bit, or like I'd try and find my way around.
Bit of leeway.
Yeah, a bit of leeway if they saw you had something going on. So yeah, no, the teachers were great there for what I did. Yeah.
And at that moment when you were like in that room kind of doing all these different things, did you know you wanted to be an artist, or was it kind of a hobby?
Yeah, nah, I never really looked that far ahead. I think I just kind of I loved my time at school with my friends and one thing and another. So I kind of just found what I liked doing, which was always being down in that part of the school was where the art and design department was. So I was just always down there. Where I hung out was down there. Where I did my lessons was down there. Stayed out of trouble and just stayed down there and did as much of what I loved as I could whilst I was there. So yeah,
And you said as well that it wasn't like a particularly like creative school.
yeah.
Were your friends all like proper supportive of you kind of just loving it?
Yeah, I think I've always just kind of done my own thing. And I don't know, I've just been the creative one, I guess, out of us, and they've always been supportive of me, but knowing that I've done something a bit weird and different. But yeah.
What was the moment where you went from like, okay, like I'm taking A-level art to like, hey, I could actually be an artist?
I've never answered that question before, but I think when I was studying A-level art, it kind of comes to a point where it's like, now you've got to make university choices, whether you're going to go, whether you're not going to go, where you're going to go, what you're going to do. Because it's obviously a creative thing, it's difficult to know exactly what it is you want to do. So I love what I was doing there. So I wanted to kind of prolong making a decision. So I wanted to get into Central St. Martin's Foundation College, and that was like the thing. That was like the next milestone, if you like, thing to do. So I just did everything I could do in terms of making work, putting it together, making portfolios, speaking to my teachers. What can I do to get there? And then I got there. I did that, and then I did a year there, and then the same thing comes again. It's like, cool. So now the next stage is going to proper university. What do you want to do there? And I actually studied jewelry design, which not a lot of people know. Yeah, completely random. So then when I'm there, I'm doing everything I can to make sure I get into there. And then I get into there, I got into there, and then I'm currently studying it there. Yeah, and I love it. And then on the side, stuff like loads of other stuff kind of happened. as I kept up my artwork and painting outside. And then from there, I've just been on like a forwards path, I guess.
In terms of like the cultural vibe of your hometown compared to London,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like there's more of them opportunities, or do you feel like now you've kind of established yourself, you can be creative anywhere?
Yeah, I think I'm always trying to find new ways to expand within this city. But yeah, I think once you kind of made your way in one city, especially a city like London, it's a lot. If you were to throw me in another city now, I think I would know a lot more how to navigate, how to get my work here, or how to meet this person, that person. So I think it's very difficult to get somewhere in London, but I think once you get a bit of somewhere, it kind of gives you a bit of confidence that you could move it into other areas. Compared to where I'm from, um, as kids, because we were close to London, we'd always be coming up to London to go to different events, or whether it's like queuing up to buy shoes, all
Yeah,
this
yeah,
all
yeah.
the classic stuff you do as kids. So we're doing that all through our teens and whatnot. So you're not so far away that you don't understand that it's going on, but you're kind of close enough to like feel it and want to be a part of something. So I think when I moved here, it just allowed me to kind of apply everything I knew about the place to what I do.
And I know
Yeah.
you're studying full time at the moment as well, but
Yeah.
would you consider yourself a full time artist?
Depends if my teachers are watching this, but yeah, I would say I put like everything into what I do. I do as well at university, but I say this has always been and will be my focus. Yeah, definitely.
And then let's take a moment to go to the Dubel Prize. What made you enter?
So it was actually my manager we were speaking about. He said that he'd found this call out to do because he looked at the prize and one thing and another. And from the moment that I started entering it, and I realized you put a video up, you put a bio up, had to put basically way more stuff up because I said to him, I'm not going to just do sit there and enter in loads of different call outs and one thing and another. But if it's like a proper thing, which it became apparent that it was, I'd definitely be more than up for it. And I think when I saw that you had to do a lot more than most competitions, I was definitely up for it.
Were you entering thinking like, I've got this, or were you a little bit nervous?
I don't know. I think I was kind of like encouraged the more and more stuff you had to do. So like the 3-minute video or the 2-minute video, I was like, I know a bunch of people are going to be too lazy to do this. And then the bio, I made sure it was written well. My manager helped me do it, so I knew that was done well. I think because I'd done it as best as I could do it, I knew that I would cut a lot of people out of it, maybe. So I don't know. I was confident, but I kind of just did it and yeah, waited. Yes, saw. Then Laura phoned me.
So when you were shortlisted, what did that feel like?
Yeah, it was cool. I can't remember. It was a while ago now that Laura phoned me, but I remember when she phoned me and she said that I'd been shortlisted. So I was happy. I knew it wasn't like I'd won, but I knew like the next step kind of. So yeah, it's a good feeling.
And how are you feeling about tonight?
Excited. It's going to be fun. You see my friends earlier. They're excited. Jace is excited. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And finally, like I know you're so young now and you've like accomplished so much already, but what is the end goal? Like what are you striving towards?
A lot of stuff, but I think mostly just doing exactly what I'm doing now, wherever I want to do it in the world. So when I'm in the studio, whether it's in London or out in the sticks, just chilling, working, speaking to my friends, having my friends around whilst I'm working, listening to music, doing cool stuff. Like if I can do that anywhere in the world, then and make great work. That's what I'm focused on. So yeah, I think my overall goal is more of the lifestyle of an artist as opposed to like reaching certain milestones. I think they just come if you put everything into the work and the process. I think everything else follows. So yeah, focused on the work.
If there was like one thing that you could look back in this video in like, I don't know, like 3 to 5 years and be like, hey, that's what I wanted and I got it, what would be that thing, even if it is something to do with lifestyle?
God, this is difficult. I don't know, probably painting on a beach somewhere, by myself with some music playing, watching the sun go down, and then sending my work all back to rainy London for everyone to see. yeah, I think that would make me happy.
That sounds pretty lovely.
Yeah.